Cowboy had a way, he had this sort of, I call it like a Simon Says technique type of MC. He wasn't technically skilled, but he had a way of having a crowd to throw their hands in the air, say things, scream, whatever. Keith's style of MCing kind of intertwined with what it was that I was doing. Certain records I told him I felt were climactic records, is where I wanted him to really push up on his Simon Says thing, get the crowd in a frenzy. This is the way I broke records, unknown records. After a while, we became a team. I said, Keith, can you please just come to me? I'm going to different parks in the neighborhood, you know. I got my couple of shopping carts, I got my moving team. You know, we're gonna move the system in supermarket shopping carts from, you know, different parks in the Bronx. Would you mind getting down with me? You know, there's no money involved. He said, why not? And we just went around blazing parks.
From when it all started, I'm very sure how you speaking with Flash and everybody, their names was up front more than anybody, you know, even from the Eric B and Rakim. I mean, the DJ had the music and he had the sound system, and the MCs had to line up to get down, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, for whatever reason it changed. It just, I guess it changed more or less from a business aspect where fans, when they start seeing it, they do hear our voices more and they may see us moving more and not hear Mace rhyme. But then again, Mace is a DJ within a group that he does rhymes as well.
I was always, you know, I was always, you know, like vocally expressive. I always talked a lot. So, I mean, just rapping, putting it to a beat with a rhyme was a way to get people to listen to what I had to say, you know? So that's kind of why I started. And then I had a cousin who put out a record when I was young.
Sean
Yeah, you know, and that gave me some inspiration, like, word, you know, I'm trying to make a record too.
I always wanted to entertain. Like, every Thanksgiving, my family used to have all the kids go to my grandmother's house, and we all used to have to perform. And, like, my sisters and them, they didn't want to perform, but I was always the one that was eager to do something. So whatever little song or whatever little thing, poem or whatever I learned in school when I was little, I would do it, and I would be eager to do that. So it started then. But then as far as in the hip-hop game, it's like, as soon as hip-hop hit, where I was at, I was hitting. I was in the mix. And I knew I wanted to MC because I couldn't really break dance too good. I could only up rock a little. I couldn't do all that windmill and stuff, and I couldn't do the pop lock-in and all that. And graffiti, of course, I was doing, but that wasn't really enough for me, and I always wanted to MC.
We standing on South Street, Philadelphia, which represents the foundation for us. This is along this street is where we would play. We would come out with our instruments. You know, in 90, 91, 92, we would come out here and just play for the people. You know, all different sorts of people walking up and down. It's like a little miniature Greenwich Village here, you know? So that was our way to really get our music to the point we could go through the litmus test and see if the people would receive it.
I started out breakdancing, you know what I'm saying, like in the days of Beat Street and stuff, and then beatboxing, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so it all started for me, like, it started somewhere, especially beatboxing. Like, I used to beatbox for a kid who used to rhyme, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually, as time went on, like, I wanted to rhyme, so I started writing myself on my own, and then one day, while I was beatboxing and he was rhyming, he took a pause and I just came out rhyming. And he took a cue and started beatboxing. So I just took it from there.
Yeah, I used to do a little electric boogie, whatever, but I was never serious enough. And the Boricuas, and they would get down on the floor, and I wasn't down with rolling around the ground or whatever. So they was gonna get me every time when we battled. So I was like, yo, Crazy Legs is my man, but I can't deal with it. There's no way I'm never battling him, so I'm not gonna be a breakdancer. So I had a short pop lock career, because I knew I couldn't go but so far in that.
Back in the days, people, you know, hip hop was based on challenging. You know, it was based on getting on a stage and battling another group. It wasn't all about swinging on each other, nothing like that. It was just expressing yourself as best as you can so you get the oohs and the ahs from the crowd and somebody's gonna win. So, you know, I guess originality was important, you know, coming up with something fresher than the next person, you know. So, I mean, that's the basis of it, even DJs, you know, who got the better cut, who got the better finesse style, so on and so forth. So,
when those cats was performing back in the days, it was about entertaining and about pleasing the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Brothers used to harmonize, all the groups used to, it was a battle who had the best harmony. You know what I'm saying? Who had the illest stories. who dressed the sharpest, who had the illest dance steps that they could all do to get, you know what I mean? Like it was real showmanship. And now it's just all about the words. People just emphasize on the words, you know what I mean? Or the music. And half the time the words and the music ain't even original. So it's not, like, you can't really have showmanship when you showcasing somebody else's, you know what I mean, art.
And at that time also, everybody was kind of like multi-talented. Some people, like Grandmaster Cass, could DJ and rhyme. There's other people that would rhyme and dance. I mean, it's like, very rarely did you have somebody that could only do one thing. We just had our specialties at that time.
Back in the days, they used to be on some real entertainers, you know what I mean? They come out, sing a little song, mess your head up, do a dance step, then bust an ill rhyme, you know what I'm saying? Get the crowd into it, say ho, this and that. It's just not like that anymore. All of that call and response and the crowd participation from the days when people would be yelling out their zodiac signs and Sergio Valente and this and that don't really take place like that anymore.
The crowd played a part back then. Like, the crowd was part of the show.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, G. Whenever y'all come and pay to see Public Enemy, KRS-One, or Ice Cube, we guarantee, oh, you gonna get a show, yo.
Just doing what we do, we realize it's our gift. And you know, can't nobody do it better than us right here. When it's really, you know, when people stop just throwing words around and just flipping the vocabulary and really saying something, can't nobody get down like us in this room.
California, Smoking Grooves 1998.
Do you have to roll out too? You gotta roll out?
New school.
You in the house.
Old school.
Yes. Yes.
Welcome to the Terror.
Sister Shaquille.
What's up, MC?
For sure, for sure.
Man, my brother would die right now.
You know why I'm here. It's about foundation.
Yeah, that's real. A continuation of our conversation. Let's start with NWA. Let's start there, okay? Now that's where I start. When you say breaking, graffiti and so on, right? This was in New York, and we were in the yards, in the train yards, and the bus yards doing our thing and so on, right? But things changed. He opened his mouth. First of all, the police. Yeah. That was the undisputed. And let me tell you, that inspired me to be more open with my anti-police practice records, because we were putting out stuff about the cops, but never as blatant. And that was all. So we felt after that, we didn't have to pull no punches. So I was like, yo, at that point, that's when I started writing Black Cop. That's when Sound of the Police, it was that kind of inspiration.
What's up, Chris?
1986.
talking all that, but we can't forget about Criminal Minded.
Oh, I forgot we was taping.
Yeah, we taping, man.
I didn't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, number one, when you came out with South Bronx, it's changed the whole scape of how to put rhymes together to make them ride all kinds of different other rhythms. And then I heard poetry, and it just changed my life. I was like, I didn't think you could do that with rap and with words and actually be able to ride a whole bunch of different scapes and also bring words to make them seem this big. He, you know, KRS-One would have phrases that just would be bam, and you was like, damn, I said, get around the, damn, I gotta go around that phrase. I mean,